I'm a constituent, a voting member of the United States of America. There are some who call me Mr. Beat. About 3 months ago, I called every U.S. senator in the country. And many of you watched. In fact, I asked many of you to share with me questions you'd like me to ask your U.S. senator on your behalf. And yes, I did it live.
We'll do it live! F it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
I live streamed it on YouTube, Twitch, and even Metaface. And this, you could say, added to the drama a bit. Now, when I say I called every U.S. senator in the country, what I really mean is I called a member of their staff. Sadly, I didn't get to actually talk to any U.S. senator during this. While it would have been really cool to actually call and have one of them pick up the phone and talk with me, I wasn't expecting that to actually happen. It's no surprise that senators depend heavily on their staffers. Each senator has dozens of staff members, many of them interns, who help senators analyze bills and policies, manage their offices, meet with the press, research, archive stuff, and, most importantly, communicate with constituents. You know, constituents. Like you and me. In my opinion, these staffers are underpaid heroes. There are nearly 6,000 U.S. Senate staffers, and they all work their butts off. I later found out that most of the people I ended up talking to on the phone were, in fact, interns. So anyway, my goal was to call all their offices within 6 hours. 100 senators in 6 hours. Oh, and the office of the President of the Senate, the Vice President, Kamala Harris. So 101 calls in 6 hours. No problem. Yeah, it took like way longer than that. In fact, it took me so long that I had to break it up into 2 parts. The whole thing took around 11 hours. To be fair, much of it was responding to your deep concerns about our federal government. You wanted your voice heard. You wanted your senators to hear all about the bills, laws, policies, and issues that were important to you. And while I brought up all kinds of important stuff to the Senate staffers, my default issue was election reform, which is really important to me. In particular, I brought up voting rights bills that I thought would help protect our representative form of democracy. Well, many Senate offices didn't even answer the phone. Of the 101 offices I called, 53 didn't pick up. So I left 53 voicemails.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Please try again. Thank you for calling the Washington, D.C. office of Senator Richard Burr of North Carolina. Constituents with a comment for Senator Burr about matters before the U.S. Senate or who wish to share their opinion.
In every single voicemail I left, I briefly mentioned the bill, issue, or policy I wanted the senator to know about. Hello, this message is for Senator Burr, and I was wondering if Burr could please support either the bill from Senator Ossoff or the bill from Senator Hawley. Both bills are similar, but both ban stock trading by members of Congress. I think that's a good idea. I think most Republicans, Democrats, Independents all support a stock trading ban, as well as my contact information. Oh yeah, I also try to remember to thank them for their service. I look forward to your response, and thank you for your service. Sucking up never hurts after all. 48 staffers did answer. At first, I told staffers that their call was being recorded, and they didn't like that too much.
Yes, sir. If you would like to record, I'm happy to put you in touch with our press office.
I'll just explain what I'm doing so you're not...
No, sir. I would rather not be quoted. I'm not an official spokesperson for it.
So I stopped telling them after that. By the way, the District of Columbia has a, quote, one-party consent law, which means it's not a crime to record a phone call as long as one party knows. Oh, I knew about it, all right. The vast majority of staffers I spoke to were both very nice and knowledgeable.
And I'd be happy to ask that question on your behalf.
Okay. I really appreciate that.
Not a problem at all, Matt. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, all right?
Okay, you too. Thank you. Okay, some of them weren't so nice, but you know.
Unfortunately, this line would only be for constituents of Illinois.
Some of them even knew who I was. I'm calling on behalf of my viewers from Arizona. You know me?
Yes, I just saw that you had a video about calling all the senators.
That's awesome. Yes, this is a bit surreal. That's very cool.
This is a weird question. Are you associated with the YouTube channel Mr. Beat?
Yes, I am actually. And knew that I was live streaming, so that was especially crazy.
If you were a YouTuber, I think I have some friends that would be a big fan.
Okay, you must know. You must know who's calling then, don't you?
No, I do not, but I will happily pass it along.
For some of them, it really felt like they weren't going to pass along my information.
Yes, sir. All right, I will pass on your comments to the senator then.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Many especially seemed to disengage from me once they realized I wasn't from the state the senator represented.
Unfortunately, sir, we only send responses to our constituents, but I'd be happy to flag that you've called and pass that along to the senator.
So now that it's been about 3 months, how many senators actually got back to me? Well, sadly, not many at all. I did get added to some mailing lists. I now get newsletters from Kentucky Senator Rand Paul all the time. A shout out to his communications team. They are busy. I also get emails occasionally from Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty and Minnesota Senator Tina Smith. I also somehow got on Representative Lauren Boebert's mailing list, and I'm pretty sure the Hagerty staffer was responsible for this. And hey, speaking of Senator Smith, she also emailed me a personal letter supporting my support for election reform, specifically referencing her disagreement with the Supreme Court in the case Shelby County v. Holder, and mentioning her co-sponsorship of the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. That said, it mostly felt like copy pasta, like she or one of her staffers literally copied and pasted just about all of it from something else previously written. I got 3 other letters back from senators that also had a copy pasta feel to them. The offices of Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown, New Mexico Senator Martin Heinrich, and New Hampshire Senator Jean Shaheen all emailed me copy pasta letters. Senator Shaheen also supported my support for election reform, specifically referencing her disagreement with the Supreme Court in the case Shelby County v. Holder, and mentioning her co-sponsorship of the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. Wait, in fact, her email was a lot like Senator Smith's. Senator Heinrich's email supported my support for Puerto Rico becoming a state, bringing up his introduction of the Puerto Rico Statehood Admission Act of 2021. Senator Brown's email was, interesting. I had called him about ranked choice voting being a great alternative to plurality voting, and his email was mostly just an explainer about what ranked choice voting is. Thanks, Senator Brown. But I already made a video explaining it. Anyway, he didn't specifically support ranked choice voting in the letter, but instead said he vaguely supported it being easier to vote. That said, at least he ended the letter with, quote, "Should legislation on ranked choice voting come to the Senate floor for consideration, I will be sure to keep your thoughts in mind." Thanks, dude. The next response I got was more impressive because it didn't feel like copy pasta. It felt more like an actual personal letter. It was from Oregon Senator Jeffrey Merkley, and this was his response to my voicemail regarding response to climate change. He began the letter with, "Greetings, Mr. Beat. Thank you for your call, your interest in my work to fight climate chaos, and for encouraging your fellow citizens to engage with their government." And ended it with, "Thank you again for contacting me and for helping educate your audience on YouTube about civics and about government engagement. All my best, Jeffrey A. Merkley, United States Senator." Thanks, Senator. That was really cool, man. But you're about to be outdone because there was only one senator who sent me this.
Mr. Beat, it's Cory Booker. I just watched your video of you calling my office. So 3 things real quick. 1, thank you for acknowledging my team. And they are an extraordinary group of people who just elevate the mission that we have for our office. And it's not just a policy mission. We also are big believers in ideals of kindness and leading with love. And that really is most evident in the small things, is how do you talk to people? How do you listen to people? How do you engage with them? And I'm really grateful that you saw that spirit in my team. Number two, I agree with you. The Election Day should be a federal holiday. Let me give you one example. I mean, the mere fact that people work on Tuesdays. Imagine being a single parent with a couple kids and having to get them to school, having to work your full-time job, having to pick them up, take them to games, all the demands on people's times, and then trying to fit in voting, and you find out it's an hour wait, 2-hour wait, 3-hour wait to vote, especially in low-income areas or disproportionately minority areas. We're seeing longer wait times. And so we should have a federal holiday to encourage people to vote. And I believe we should go beyond just a voting day in America. We should have mail-in balloting and voting over a period of time to make sure that our electoral process is more inclusive, more equal in all their access. And finally, point number 3, thank you for what you just modeled. I think that what you're doing by calling every single senator is you're showing people what activism is all about, and in many ways how easy it is to engage with your public officials. This idea that goes back to our founding of petitioning the government, that this is a democracy of we the people. I just appreciate that leadership that you're showing, that light and instruction that you're showing as well. I wish you all the best. I hope I get a chance to meet you in person one day. Thank you.
That was New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, and that was freaking amazing. I was particularly impressed because I know how busy senators are. They have a lot to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and it was just neat that he took the time out to film that for me. And you. And Senator Booker's enthusiasm must be contagious because his staffer who I spoke with on the phone was also enthusiastic and receptive to my calls for electoral reform.
Anything really, he's in favor of pretty much anything that would, really guarantee citizens' right to vote. So I can absolutely pass it on to the senator for you.
As cool as that was, in the 3 months since I called 101 Senate offices, I only got a total of 6 responses. Total. Just 6. One of those who didn't get back to me was New Mexico Senator Ben Ray Lujan, and I totally understand why he didn't. The man had a stroke while I was literally doing the live streams, and I wish him the very best as he is still slowly recovering. But for the rest of you senators, I'm disappointed in you. Let me be frank. This experience has been a total letdown and has made me question our representative democracy. Look, I get why senators can't make much time for their constituents. Many of them have a lot of constituents. Take California, for example. California has 40 million people, so I understand if senators can't respond to all of the calls and emails they get on a daily basis. Still, I know they make time for their campaign donors, and I know they make time for lobbyists who bribe them. So why can't they make time for us? To the 6 U.S. senators who did respond to me, thank you. To the rest of you out there, you have some work to do. And in case you're wondering, I do plan on calling every member of the House of Representatives next. Stay tuned for that. It's gonna take a while. I've got 99 problems and traditional banks are 1. They charge $35 overdraft fees. Their apps are slow and hard to use. They make you wait on hold for hours to talk to a human. Well, there's a better way to use your money. This video is sponsored in part by Albert. Albert is completely different from any bank account you've ever used. First of all, it's absolutely free to sign up for. It's easy to use. Albert helps you save automatically. It looks at your income and expenses and sees what money you can save, and then they automatically move money into your savings account, sometimes as small as a few dollars at a time. Albert gives you cash back. In the Albert app, just tap your favorite merchant and you can get between 5 and 20% cash back on purchases from places like Starbucks, Starbucks and Walmart. Albert's also has a team of financial experts they call geniuses that will look at your situation and help you make a plan and answer any questions if you get stuck. Click the link in the description of this video or go to albert.com/MrBeat to download Albert today. That's albert.com/MrBeat. If you get on there and open up a checking account and link a qualifying direct deposit, you'll get $150, but it's just for a limited time. Thanks to all the congressional staffers who reached out to me after I did those live streams calling all the senators. It was very valuable to hear your perspective and a little depressing, to be honest. Keep fighting the good fight. These staffers are amazing folks. And I will keep you posted on when I call each member of the House of Representatives. No, it will not all be in one day. Thanks for watching, constituents.